Hey guys, if you don't know, in my last YouTube video, I looked at beating all of the beginner bots um, in the bullet chess format. Um, and we managed to do it just about. We got stalemate once, I think. Um, but yeah, we found it pretty easy to beat them all. And no, I won't be focusing on, I won't be trying to beat the intermediate bots on bullet chess because unfortunately that's just too hard. It will be a lot of pressure for me and not so much for the bots because the bots don't feel the pressure um in the same way that I do. Um so it will be very hard to do. Um but what we will be doing in this video is we're going to play all of the intermediate bots that I haven't already played on the channel. And we're going to see how far we can get up to. I might skip bots whose elo we've already done. So for example, I'll do a 1000 bot, I'll do 1100, then I'll do 1200, then 1300, and so on. But I won't do both bots that are 1000. I'll just do one at a time, and then do the others off camera probably, just for the sake of time. So here we go. Let's start with the Queen's Pawn opening, as we like to do on the channel. We've done this Catalan setup, as I have expressed that I enjoy quite a lot. Let's castle. Then we'll bring out this bishop here. Push this pawn to secure it. Oh dear. It does look like we are about to get ourselves in a lot of trouble. But I think we do this move and everything is fine. And now we can fork these two pieces. Yes, that's good. Yeah, so we just get that free bishop, which is quite good. I suppose we needed that advantage. We're going to attack the queen to give us an extra tempo while we bring our knight. Do I want to bring my knight back, actually? No, I think I'll leave it there and secure this bishop, as I said I would. And then I think here, we'll go for this trade of the knights to open things up a little bit. They're about to take this bishop. I don't really want them to, so I'm going to attack this queen. Maybe we induce the pushing of the f pawn. So that wasn't successful. So we'll just go for that trade of the knights as we intended. What should we do from here? We'll bring out the knight. Hopefully, if we can trade a knight for a bishop, that should be beneficial. We now need to save our queen. So I think I'll do that by bringing it up here, because then if we start to push our pawns, we have a lot of pieces over here near the king side, so that can be quite good if we know how to deal with that. We'll take the bishop as we planned to do. Now we can retreat this bishop, and if they push here, we can simply push the pawn. If they push here, okay, we'll push this pawn, because then if they push theirs, we can escape that threat. What can we do? What can we do from here? Let's put the rook here and attack the knight. I've realised that's not very good because the knight can just take that free pawn. So we'll just move the rook back, and then we can push this pawn just to attack the queen, because we don't particularly like it here. Now let's what can we look at doing now? We can bring the bishop here, although I'm not sure what effect that has. I mean, this seems to be opening things up, so there may be more potential for some kind of attack. Do we want to trade the queens? I'd say we do, because then the queen can't come down this file here. Because we'd be in a lot of trouble if that happened. Let's see. Can we take this knight? Oh no, I blundered a fork there. It's a shame, but we were up material, so as long as we recapture, we should be fine for the moment. Move the bishop here, targeting this rook. We'll bring the rook up. Hopefully we can bring it up to the 7th rank. We can target this pawn. Never mind. Shall we? Okay. I'm going to bring my bishop here, because that cuts the king off from coming down. We'll give a check. I quite like this. The king is very much cut off from everything. If we do this, the king is trapped entirely, forced to start moving pawns. They bring the rook down, then we can start to threaten checkmate, because the king will not be able to escape up here. Let's target this pawn. Now, that's a sacrifice, because if the rook takes, we can push our own rook up. And when the rook comes down to protect it, we'll take the rook, and that will be checkmate. Unfortunately, that's not what happens. So let's move the bishop here. The bishop is protected, and we attack the rook. Therefore, if they take our bishop, we can take the rook. That doesn't happen. So let's retreat the bishop. We'll give a check. So we're starting to take out the number of safe squares that the rook has. We'll push this pawn. If the pawn takes, we can take back. If not, we simply have this safe square for the bishop. Now we can look at causing some problems here for the opponent. What can we do here? We can simply offer a trade of the rooks. I think that works for me. And then once we do this, we have a hit on the rook. Okay. Now we have a quite strong pawn because it's very heavily advanced. We can attack the rook. And we can start to push this pawn up. Okay, let's just calculate this. Up, takes, up, takes, and then we have a queen. Up, king over, up, king over, up. King can do that. However, up, king over, bishop. This has to move up. Then king over. You know what? Let's go for it. And we'll see what happens. I think up, king over, up. They've already simply by taking that bishop, they don't have enough time to stop the promotion. I probably should have gone there, actually, because that would have forked both pieces, but now I can fork them anyway. This pawn can't take. Okay, yeah. Let's try to promote this pawn without causing too many problems for ourselves. They bring the pawn down, then we can win it with a fork. Lovely. And now we can simply win this pawn. And the game is won. Good thing I didn't pre-move that. Lovely. That's checkmate. The next game, I think, will hurry up a little bit. Or maybe won't spend so much time on the explanation. We'll go for the exchange. That's a little unusual. Oh. Well, I guess we'll just keep playing as if they didn't let me take that pawn. That's not something you see often. I guess they've sacrificed it for better development. We'll attack the queen. We'll castle to safety and then look at bringing our bishop up. They push, we take. This doesn't do anything, as far as I'm aware. If they take our knight, we will take their rook. Lovely. And... oh, I see. Yes, our rook is trapped here. But we can take this knight for free. We can then also go for this trade. And now we can look at knight here, because then if the bishop comes here and attacks the rook again, then we would be able to bring it over here, but that obviously hasn't happened. Let's look at bringing our queen up here. That's a trade, I guess. It was a bad trade because we're up material. Looking at this weak pawn here. I guess we blundered there. My mistake. No worries, we shall kick out this bishop. Now we can look at this safe square for our rook. And now we're very much considering promoting. Brilliant. Looking at this weak pawn here. Looking at this weak pawn. We will move our king to a light square so the dark squared bishop is useless. This pawn's on a light square, so this bishop's not going to be able to do anything. The only pawns it can attack are these. But those pawns aren't particularly useful to winning this game anyway. So. There's a little tactic now. If we take this pawn here, bishop can come here and skewer these rooks. But, because I've seen that tactic, I can take preventative measures. I suppose we should be moving these rooks to the other side of the board. That was not my intention, but that works, I suppose. Push this pawn up. This rook on a light square. Push this pawn as far as it can go. Same time, we'll push these pawns. Because they cannot stop both pawns at once from promoting. And there we go, they sacrificed their bishop. And there's nothing they can do to prevent checkmate. Lovely. What can we do in this position? We can give a check there. And there we go. That's another game won. Now we will look at the 1200 bot. Oh, I don't suppose we should have done that because they could have taken the free pawn. But I suppose we don't have to worry about that because it didn't happen. And never mind. I guess blunders are guaranteed to happen in the majority of chess games. Unless you're Magnus Carlsen. We have a bit of a skewer here. The tactic didn't work because they could put the pawn in front. Fortunately. I was quite excited about that one. If they take, we could have taken again. Threatening an attack on the queen. Unfortunately, the attack isn't particularly effective. Now we've pinned the queen, so they have to take the trade. Let's look at bringing our knights into the action. Revealed an attack on the rook. Has been prevented. Successfully. You can go for this this trade here. Since we are winning a bishop. And we'll bring our rook into the game a little bit. So I must say, it's not the most active of rooks. The opponent's made a passed pawn, which is usually something to be taken very seriously, but they've let it hang. So we'll place our bishop here. They take here, we can take with check. Oh, we're down that exchange. Let me just take a look at this. Takes. Yes, I guess I didn't see this rook. Is the problem. Which, you know, my bad. Oh, I could have just taken this pawn as well, straight away. Oh, I'll do that now. And then we'll go for... I was going to say we'll go for a trade, but that doesn't seem very likely. So we'll attack this rook. Offer the trade. Take the trade. There we go. And now we simply have 3 pawns and a king against this pawn. So it's unlikely that Emir is going to be able to defend and stop all 3 of these pawns from promoting. Sorry about that. That was completely a blunder. I literally must have coughed my brains out. Right. Now we have to shoulder the king, their king, out of the way. Lovely. Now they can't come closer to the pawn. Oh, I could have taken on passant there. I pre-moved. Silly me. Let's walk the king over. We'll play the knight's opposition. And checkmate. Thank you very much for watching this video. I think because of the time it has taken to do this first part with how many bots have we done? We've done 3 bots, and we have 1, 2. Oh, we have 2 more bots to go. Yeah, but considering the time it's taken to beat these 3 bots, I think we'll leave it there for this video. And I will see you next week with the rest of the intermediate bots. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.